Hello everyone, James here with a guide to the Va Pensiero song that we're going to repeat and keep developing our awareness of, ready for the concert on the 30th of October. So in last week's rehearsal, we began to go through this song word by word in the Italian. So next time we perform, we're able to sing it in the original with feeling. So the purpose of this video is to help us get familiar with the pronunciation and the feeling, so we can actually sing the song from the depth of our being, so we can understand what we are emoting and communicating, and we can let the vehicle or the conduit of our voice box and our song really transmit that beautiful, powerful, evocative feeling to the audience. So, coro di schiavi ebrei. So I'm looking at the score, which I think you all have. So the score is, you need it to follow along with for this practice. So coro di schiavi ebrei is the chorus of the Hebrew slaves. So in the opera, in the story of the opera, the people who are singing here, they have been captured and they've been taken to the land of Babylon by the king Nebuchadnezzar, and the enslaved people in this beautiful chorus are singing of their homeland. It's a type of prayer, if you like. It's a type of invocation of this fatherland or motherland that fills them with inspiration and the force, the power to endure all of the privations, degradations, horrors that they have to face in Babylon. So, what we're going to do here is I'm going to say the words in Italian so we can get the sense of it. So last week in the rehearsal, I went through kind of word by word, and then Javier leads us in the rhythm, so we get the feel of saying the words in the same rhythm that we're going to sing them, and then Evelyn will guide us in the singing. So I am trying to do my best to step into the feet of myself, Javier, and Evelyn at once to give you this reference so you can look at it as we continue to practice. So, first, va. I'll say the word, we'll repeat it together. Va, va. Pensiero, pensiero. Sul ali dorate. Va pensiero sul ali dorate. Va pensiero sul ali dorate. So va means go. So go. Pensiero, my thoughts, my imagination. Va pensiero, go my thoughts. Where? Where do I want the thoughts to go? That's coming in a moment. So how do I want them to go? Sul ali dorati. Go on wings of gold. So go quickly. Fly at the speed of thought. Thoughts go. Go away from this place to where? Va. Go. Va ti posa and go and rest. Sui clivi, sui colli. On the slopes, the undulating hills, the beautiful rounded rolling landscape of the homeland. Where, ove olezzano, where the air, olezzare is a verb that means to be filled with fragrance. So ove olezzano, tepide e dolci, tepide e molli, laure dolci del suolo natal, where the air is fragrant and filled with the warm, cool, agreeable breezes and fragrances of the sweetness of the suolo natal. Suolo, the ground, the soil, the earth, natal, of our birth. And they're remembering this land now. Del Giordano, from the river Jordan. Le rive saluta. So le rive, the banks of the Jordan, saluta. They bring health. So that we're remembering the banks of this river that was the source of such vitality and life and made the land so fertile, so fragrant, so beautiful, so life-giving. Di Sione, of Zion, le torre atterrate. And so we're remembering the beautiful fragrance, the beautiful flowing river, its lush, fertile banks, And we're remembering le torre, the towers, le torre, the towers, which are atterrate, which are grounded. So they've gone to Babylon. Now remember, the Babylonians, they built the Tower of Babel. They were trying to build a tower to reach to God so they could replace God. But those who come from Zion, their torre, their towers, were grounded. They weren't trying to take over God's place. Their towers were built in reverence to the force of the divine that was allowing them to do it. So we have this strong contrast. The whole song is filled with so much suggestive poetry. So we have this le torre, and when we sing it's le torre. So the torre, so the tower, the way we sing it kind of evokes the shape of the tower. So we're remembering the beautiful fragrant banks of the Jordan and the towers that are grounded, that give us support and give us shelter here on the earth. O mia patria. So patria means my country. So we can see from the Latin roots coming through the Italian, those words like patriotism, paternal, patriarchy, patrimony. There's the idea of the pattern of the fatherland that gave us assurance. The place, my fatherland, the place of my source, the motherland, si bella, so beautiful, e perduta. Perduta means lost. That is lost to me. So remembering the beloved fatherland, motherland, that is so beautiful, and now I am lost to it, so far away from me. O membranza, O memory, as I remember the beautiful motherland, fatherland. Si cara, so dear, si cara e fatale. And deadly. So the memory, it's so dear, it's so beautiful, but it's also fatal. So it's so fateful. It pains me to death. It pains me almost to death that I am so removed from that beautiful place. And then we got, now there's this, they're asking for something. So we're remembering, so we're inviting ourselves to come out of this place of constriction and with the power of our thought to travel on those golden wings to the beloved land of our home and our birth, where the River Jordan runs fluidly, nourishes the land, where the towers are built on a human scale, connecting us to the ground, that place that's so dear to us. And then we move into a different kind of section. Arpa, arpador, golden harp, de fatidici vati. Golden harp. So fatidici vati is referring to the prophets, those poetically inspired sages or seers or visionaries who could predict the future, who could prophesy. So harp of the lineage of our prophets. Why? Perché muta del salice pendi? Why do you hang silent on the willows? The willows, those trees with those relatively thin branches that can sway in the breeze on the banks of the river. Why? And when the wind moves through the willows, what does it do? It makes that beautiful sound. It sings. So why? So golden harp of our prophets, why do you hang silently on the willows? And then what instead? Le memoria nel petto raccendi. Raccendi is illumine once again, fire up once again, revive once again. Le memoria nel petto, the memories in the recollections in our heart. Ci favella del tempo che fu, that tell us, that remind us of the times that were, of the times that have been. Ci favella. This ci favella, so the English word fable has come from this Italian root back through the Latin. So speak to us, remind us in ways that tell us. So the area ci favella. So there's lots of words you could use here that tell us of the past, but tell us in a way that's like a fable. So what does a fable do? It gives us moral inspiration. It boosts our morale. So remind us of all of the travails we have come through before. Remind us of our capacity for heroic valor, so we can actually face the situation we're in more easily. O simile di soli mai fati, or whether it's like Solomon, who had to endure the fate that he had to endure. Traggi un suono di crudo lamento, whether like Solomon, you bring us un suono, a sound di crudo lamento, crudo, raw, lamento, grief, lamentation. So whether when you remind us of the past, you remind us of those grievous difficulties that we have faced, or whether ti ispiri, and so this is, it follows, and when you remind us of the grief that we've been through, you can also then, what's the next part? Ti ispiri il Signore, or let the Lord inspire you to un concento. And un concento is a very significant word here. Un concento is the word for the accord, the harmony that comes by joining many voices together, or many positive, virtuous, nourishing qualities together. When you bring lots of good things together, you get un concento. You get this beautiful harmony, like we're going to make when we sing together. But also it has the strong connotation that it goes back to classical Italian literature, of that beauty, that power that comes from bringing things into accord. And so it's very, very fitting that it's coming at this point in the chorus. So whether in the arpador, when the golden harp sings in our memories, it may remind us of the grievous challenges we have already made it through. And so it may also inspire in our hearts, through the grace of the Lord, che ne infonda al patire virtù, which will infondare, which will fill us with, which will instill in us, which will bring up in us, which will fill our beings with patire. Patire means to bear, to tolerate, to withstand, to face with patience, diligence, forbearance. So, which will fill us with the strength, the capacity. So, virtù, it could be translated as virtue, but going back in the Italian, virtù has that sense that's more to do with that capacity, force, potential, the power to. So when we are reminded of the challenge we've been through and the inspiration that's always beating in our heart of hearts, this will fill us with the strength, the power, the forbearance, the virtuous qualities, the heroic qualities to actually face the challenges that we have to face. So that gives you a sense of the meaning. So basically, here we are singing, we're in a horrible situation. We're facing a time of tremendous trial, of privation. But when we bring our voices and the power of our consciousness together, we feel that inspiration. Because not only do we feel it, it's not just imagine, when we join our voices, what happens? We experience something that's greater than the sum of its parts. This is the idea of un concento. It's this power that comes when we bring together in accord positive qualities. So the song is a prayer, it's an invocation. And it's an invitation to the audience. So one of the things that's very beautiful about this song in the Celebration of Creation concert theme, we're singing to remind ourselves and everybody that we are sharing the song with that this is our human capacity. When we find ourselves in times of trouble, and we will find ourselves in times of trouble sometimes in life, what to do? Invite that concento, invite that coming together of our positive qualities. Invite harmony, balance, cohesion through all the different capacities with which we are blessed as human beings. And then we can find new inspiration because there is a light inside that never goes out. And it's this light inside that never goes out of conscience, of consciousness, of awareness that we are invoking and evoking with this song to help us bear challenges, travails, hardships, and find the inspiration to move towards a new dawn. even from within a difficult situation. So that's a little bit about the sense of this beautiful poem, this beautiful song. So I planned to do the word-by-word pronunciation, but I got a bit carried away with the meaning. So I'll now go through the word-by-word pronunciation as a reference, and then in subsequent rehearsals we'll start getting more and more of a sense of this in the sung version. So going back to the beginning. Va pensiero sul ali dorate. Va pensiero sul ali dorate. Va ti posa sui clivi, sui colli. Va ti posa sui clivi, sui colli. Ove olezzano, tepide e molli, tepide e molli. Ove olezzano, tepide e molli, laure dolci del suolo natal, laure dolci del suolo natal. Del Giordano, le rive saluta. Del Giordano le rive saluta. Di Sione le torre atterrate. Di Sione le torri atterrate. O mia patria, sì bella e perduta, sì bella e perduta. O membranza, sì cara e fatal, sì cara e fatal. O membranza, sì cara e fatal. Arpador de fatidicivati, arpador de fatidicivati, perché muta dal salice pendi, perché muta dal salice pendi. Le memorie nel petto raccendi, le memorie nel petto raccendi. Ci favella del tempo che fu, ci favella del tempo che fu. O simile di soli mai fatti, o simile di soli mai fatti, traggi un suono di crudo lamento, traggi un suono di crudo lamento. O ti spiri il Signore un concento, o ti spiri il Signore un concento. Once more. O ti spiri il Signore un concento. O ti spiri il Signore un concento. Che ne infonda al patire virtù. Che ne infonda al patire virtù. Che ne infonda al patire virtù. So hopefully that's a helpful reference for the pronunciation. One lovely thing about Italian is completely phonetic. What we see on the page is what we pronounce. Once we know the sounds of Italian, we can read Italian. So just a couple of things. For example, we have the word ci, which is spelt with the C-I in English, but in Italian, when you have the C and an I, it's ci. Favella. Ci favella del tempo che fu, for example. When we have a double consonant, for example, ci favella, there's two L's, or traggi, there's two G's, or atterrate, there's two T's, there's two R's, there's two R's. So the two T's, the two R, the two R's, we hear them, atterrate. So everything on the page, we're going to say it. And this is going to help us. So there's a few differences in the way that Italian reads to other languages that are also represented on the page in the Roman alphabet. But once we practice this a few times, we really start to understand the Italian way of pronouncing things. So hopefully that's a useful reference. I'm going to go through one more time. Feel free to say along with me now. We'll go all the way through, and I'm going to try and follow the score to do it more like in the time that we'll sing it. And Javier is great at doing this, so next week we'll practice this, and then Eve will lead us in singing it together. Va pensiero sul ali dorate, va ti posa sui clivi, sui colli, ove olezzano tepide molli, lauree dolci del suolo natal. Del Giordano le rive saluta, di Sionne le torri atterrate. O mia patria si bella e perduta, o membranza si cara e fatal. Arpador de fatidici vati, perché muta dal salice pendi, le memorie nel petto raccendi, ci favella del tempo che fu, o simile di soli mai fati, traggi un suono di crudo lamento, o ti ispiri il Signore un concento, che ne infonda al patire virtù, che ne infonda al patire virtù, che ne infonda al patire virtù. Thank you for watching if you got this far. Hope that's helpful, and I really look forward to singing next Thursday. Okay, bye for now.